AI is becoming that invisible hand that's going to be interviewing you and hiring you in the future. Friends, getting into the Indian Defense Forces, that is the Indian Army, Navy, or the Indian Air Force, as an officer requires one to clear the time-tested Services Selection Board, or SSB in short. It's a 5-day on-site testing process with a success rate of only 1 to 2%. A process that evaluates an individual in total, both physically and mentally. And its output can be seen in the quality of the officers that it records. The process has evolved over the years, but its core has stood the test of time and not changed much over the years. Recently, I caught up with a college mate of mine who is the HR in charge of one of the major industrial houses in India. Our conversation drifted on the employment issues faced by fresh graduates. That's the time he provided me a very fascinating perspective on how artificial intelligence has infiltrated the human resource section. Nowadays, he said, thousands of applications are received, especially by large companies, from entry-level applicants, that is, fresh graduates or young individuals with minimal experience. This overwhelming volume makes the hiring process a nightmare, a challenge for the HR person. Firstly, to thoroughly review each application and then list them and conduct interviews. Presently, we all know that there are systems in place to electronically scan applications and look for specific keywords to identify a fit and list them. But that is history. With the advent of generative AI in HR systems, companies have elevated this process to a different level. It not only enables them to writing a great job advertisement, but sifts through the hundreds of applications more effectively. It helps them determine quickly which candidates are suitable and the degree of fit into the company. Some AI tools also offer AI-based interviews that even interview individuals not only telephonically but also through video conference using AI-generated human people who conduct the interview. These chatbots, or you can call them the interviewer bots, are programmed with specific questions, and based on the response they receive from the candidates, they can ask associated questions depending on the answers being provided by the interview, so as to find if he or she fits the role for which he is being interviewed. For the potential tech hires, they also get assist for their coding skills in real time, which is the easier part. The thing is that the interviewees will never realize by seeing the quality of the AI images and the voices being generated. They sound and look so human that the interviewer will feel that he's talking to a real person on the other side. These bots are so programmed to ask questions that will be randomly generated from a question bank and parroted out to the interview, thus making the interview look real and not repetitive. Using apps like Dialogflow, etc., these bots are able to have a kind of intelligent conversation and even escape out of tight situations if put by the interview. The advantage of this automation is it not only reduces subjectivity that used to come in with human interviewers, especially when dealing with a large number of applicants, but it increased the productivity as the number of interviews that can be handled simultaneously became large, and there was no fatigue factor that comes in with computers. Furthermore, AI has enabled video interviews to be conducted by chatbots that have the power to analyze your facial expressions, monitor your eye movement, and the body language. This technology helps identify certain traits, assess the confidence of the individual and the personal characteristics. It also helps identify genuinity, that is, the genuineness of the soft skills being displayed by the candidate, and find out if it is intrinsic or being faked. It also helps find out if the interviews are being tutored from external sources or individuals during the interview. He also mentioned that these AI-based systems are not perfect because many a times when the second round, that is the physical interview, is conducted, variances have been found in the evaluation by the AI system and what has been seen during the physical interview. Human intervention is still needed to do that final pick and sometimes needed to ensure that technology isn't getting biased against certain groups of people based on the inferences generated from the data they have been gathering interviewing people, or that the algorithms have developed biases knowingly or unknowingly. Friends, if you found value, do like and subscribe. It can be seen that routine HR tasks that were once performed by humans are now being automated. This shift signifies that the future of HR and HR recruitment is going to be different. Thus, there will be a need to adapt our applications and responses accordingly to meet this enhanced evaluation. Ultimately, it all comes down to be able to authentically display one's hard and soft skills. There is no longer room for embellishments in resumes to make them look good. Candidates can no longer rely on flowery languages to impress the employers or claim skill sets that are not there. Thus, it becomes even more imperative to develop and be able to display the skill sets as claimed or as needed by the employer who is planning to hire you to deliver performance behind expectations, my friend. Jai Hind.